Hello, I'm Faizan Mohammed from Sindh province of Pakistan and welcome back to our journey to uncover one of the world's oldest mysteries, the Indus script. In our last video, we introduced Aiskoparpola and Iravatham Mahadevan's work and how their approach leads to uncovering mysteries over the Indus script. But today, we will explore how other ancient scripts like Egyptian, Mesopotamian, and Mayan were discovered and what lessons they offer for decoding the Indus script. So let us travel back in time. Throughout history, human civilization developed writing systems to record trade, religion, and culture. Some of the oldest known scripts include Egyptian hieroglyphs or Mesopotamian cuneiform, Mayan glyphs, Linear B from Greece, and of course Indus script. Each of these scripts vanished for centuries, buried deep under the dust of time, until modern archaeologists and linguists brought them back to life. So let us see how they did it. First, let us look at the Egyptian hieroglyphs. In 1799, Napoleon's soldiers discovered Rosetta Stone, and it had Greek, Demotic, and Egyptian language writings, and it was from the year 196 BCE. It was first cracked by Jean-Francois Champollion in 1822. Initially he thought it was ideas, but later he realized that these were basically phonetic signs. So he wrote a book named Précis du Système Hieroglyphique in 1824 AD. Since Greek was already known, scholars used it as a key to decode the hieroglyphs. So Jean-Francois Champollion finally cracked it. He opened the world of ancient Egypt with it. So the next script is Mesopotamian cuneiform. This script made a wedge-shaped marks on clay tablets was deciphered by comparing repeated patterns and bilingual inscriptions. If we go deeper into the history, we find that this script was forgotten and it was rediscovered in the 17th century. A Spanish ambassador to Abbasid court, Don Garcia Silva Figuera, in 1620 AD, he identified Persian ruins Takht-e Jamshed, and they were the lost city of Persepolis from King Darius, the Achaemenid king. Henry Rawlinson, an officer of the British Army, found the Behistun inscriptions in Iran, written in Old Persian, Elamite, and Babylonian. So there was a trilingual text which was discovered that was the key to unlocking the cuneiform. So because of the trilingual inscriptions, this script was decoded and deciphered, just like the Rosetta Stone. Then let us look at the Mycenaean Linear B script. For centuries, the script found in Crete, Greece, it was a mystery to people. In 1952, Michael Ventris, an architect, not a linguist, realized that it was an early form of Greek. He used frequency analysis and logic, proving that patience and pattern recognition can solve ancient puzzles. Okay, so now let us check the Mayan glyphs. The Maya script was cracked gradually through the 20th century. Researchers noticed that the symbols represented both sounds and meanings, similar to how Chinese and Egyptian writing work. Now, we know that in Spanish conquest of this America, many Mayan books were destroyed, and it is said that only 3 books remained from which the whole Mayan script and all these things are deciphered. And of course, there are some inscriptions, not some but many inscriptions, over 2000 inscriptions have been carved on stones. They were the reason Mayan script was deciphered, and the language legacy was alive. The language legacy was alive in the Mayan traditions, because of which the Mayan script was deciphered. So what is the pattern here? The pattern here is that over the centuries these scripts remain undeciphered, but because of few things these were deciphered. So one of the most important criteria or one of the most helpful tools to decipher the script are bilingual texts.
The Rosetta Stone, the key that unlocked a lost language. Imagine holding in your hands the key to an ancient, forgotten language, lost to time for nearly 2 millennia. That is the story of the Rosetta Stone, one of the most important archaeological finds in history.
We have seen this in Egyptian hieroglyphs, the Rosetta Stone, and then we have also seen that in cuneiform script with the discovery of these ancient Persian trilingual inscriptions or tablets. So if there is no bilingual, how a script can be deciphered? So the Alice J. Kober quotation is famous. It says that an unknown language in unknown script cannot be deciphered. So whether there is a bilingual or no bilingual. So the task is what language or what phonetic values of signs then remove one of these unknowns. Okay, so this is the table, the conventional typography of decipherment. We see here that there is a type, the script, language and example. So the type 1 is that if the script is unknown and the language is known. So what are the example of that? In Egyptian hieroglyphic, the script was unknown but the language was known. So what is the type 2? When the script is known and the language is unknown. So that is the case of Etruscan. Here the script was known but the language was unknown. So from one known they try to understand or discover the unknown. So in type 3 there is a script which is unknown and then the language is also unknown. So the examples of this type 3 are Linear B and the Indus script. So when it comes to the Indus script decipherment, the script is also unknown and the language is also unknown. So this is one of the most difficult things. But when we say unknown, it doesn't mean that it remains unknown. There are many languages and scripts which were previously unknown, especially the languages, and later on we found that they had a whole language family and it became known. So in Indus script, we can say that the script is unknown and the language is also unknown, but there are language families from which we can infer what would be their ancestral language from which the later language family was derived. And in the case of Escobarpola's book Deciphering the Indus Script, which we are focusing, he says that this was an early form or a proto-form or an ancestral form of a Dravidian language family. So couple of things we know about Indus script. Based on the structure, we can say that the Indus script was a logosyllabic script which is much more difficult to decipher in general. There is a large number of signs which do not form such a tightly coherent system and which moreover generally have more than one phonetic or semantic value. In the absence of effective aids such as extensive bilinguals, native lexica or descendants of the sign with the known values, complete decipherment of logosyllabic writing systems are usually impossible. The degree of difficulty depends further on the number, length and diversity of the text and the extent to which there are semantic and phonetic determinatives, grammatical elements that have been marked, and so on. Okay, so here we see the Mayan glyphs. This is the figure which is mentioned in Escobarpola's book Deciphering the Indus Script. This is Bishop Landa's Maya alphabet, which was in 1566 AD. A quick introduction. Bishop Diego de Landa, he actually compiled what is called Rosetta Stone of Maya writing in 1566. So his work was crucial. So this Maya script, it is a very recent script compared to other ancient scripts, but it is very relevant when it comes to Indus script decipherment or simple studies, because this is also a logosyllabic script. And Mayan script, unlike Egyptian hieroglyphs and Mesopotamian cuneiform, it had no bilinguals. So without the aid of bilinguals, this script was deciphered. But of course, it was deciphered through the Mayan language was known and the script was unknown. So in the case of Indus script, we have to find what remaining language family we are going to test our hypothesis, and then we try to decipher the Indus script which is unknown. So in our case, it is said that Dravidian language family is the best possible choice for that. So these are very relevant points mentioned in Escoparpola's book Deciphering the Indus Script regarding Maya glyphs, and we can look into this and apply this into Indus script as well, because the methodology might be more or less the same for decipherment. So now that we have looked into different ancient world scripts and have a brief introduction of that, we can now shift our focus to the Indus script and try to understand the evolution of the Indus script and the later Indian scripts and try to compare them. So the earliest form of Indus script was from potter's marks. So that is from 3600 to 2600 BCE. This is an early form of evolution of the Indus script, although these are just potter's marks. And then from 2600 BCE and going forward, this is a mature period when Indus script emerged as a fully formed script. It is said that something strange happened at this point in the history of Indus civilization at around 2600 BCE to 2550 BCE, somewhere around that. Some change in the religio-politics of Indus Valley civilization took place at that particular point in time. So this is the same point in time from where the Indus script emerges as a mature form of a script that is fully developed in its form. So definitely those people, those elites who came into power or some kind of a dominance within this state system of Indus civilization, obviously they had this writing with them, and they introduced this writing probably as an administrative tool or identification tool. So what Escoparpola infers from his book Deciphering the Indus Script is that there is a sign, particular sign in the inscriptions, which is the animal motif of unicorn. So he says that this unicorn containing signs, this particular kind of a tribe or kind of a group of people, they could be the in charge of this Indus civilization, and they emerged from 2600 BCE when this massive change, not just in the language but also in the structure of this Indus civilization, the structure of the cities and all these formations is also visible from that point of time. So if we trace this pottery marks on the vessels and we see them in the early sites of Amri, Kot Diji and Mehergarh, which further expand in the mature phases in the Mohenjo-daro as well. So they might be limited, these potter's marks might be limited to numerals, especially the vertical strokes, they look like numerals. And there is one particular aspect in those numerals, that tens, the values of tens was expressed in the script in semicircular patterns. So that is something that the Escoparpola observes. So let us further read some of the texts of Escoparpola's Deciphering the Indus Script about this. So he says that on present evidence, the Indus script cannot be directly derived from any other known script. The geographically closest and vaguely similar Proto-Elamite script, which has often been mentioned in this connection, is many centuries older. The historical situation in the 26th century BCE, when Indus script came into being, and particularly the establishment of sea contact with the Gulf region, makes it likely that the Indus script was inspired by a Near Eastern script. A source of inspiration could have been the cuneiform script, but it could equally well have been an as yet unknown later variety of the Proto-Elamite script that may have been used somewhere within Elamite realm 2600 BCE. The survival of Proto-Elamite script in some form after 2900 BCE is suggested by its being the source for the signs of the linear Elamite syllabic script created in the middle of the 24th century BCE. The late Proto-Elamite alternative is supported by the evident influence that Proto-Elamite glyphic art exerted upon the iconography of Harappan seals. So in the available evidence, the Indus script emerges almost fully standardized. Only a few signs on the miniature tablets in the lower levels of Harappa differ slightly from their later forms. Consider the earliest Indus texts. So the Indus script did not change much during the mature Harappan period. Specimens of the script have survived only on seals and a few other objects. So from this text of Escoparpola, it needs some explanation, some more description. So what I have understood from Escoparpola's ideas is that he thinks that the Indus language was indigenous, and he thinks that it was a Proto-Dravidian form from which the later Dravidian language family is derived. But he thinks that the inspiration must come from somewhere. So in the ancient scripts also, the inspirations for linear B was Egyptian hieroglyphs. So here inspiration of this script must be from somewhere, because this script is not similar to Egyptian script. It is not similar to the Mesopotamian. So he thinks that in ancient world, in ancient Bronze Age, the part between Indus Valley civilization and this Mesopotamian civilization, it was Elamite, the ancient area of this Iran, and this was also one of the advanced civilizations, although it is undervalued somehow in descriptions of scholars. But this Elamite area, they also had a script. He says that this Elamite script, they developed it far earlier than Indus script. He says that there was a gap of many centuries between Indus script and this Elamite script. So he says that there must be a script from Elamite region, somewhere from the Elamite region, which has been lost and which is not discovered yet. So he thinks that from that lost script, Elamite script, that was inspiration for the Indus script, although we cannot say that that was the Indus script, but inspiration, because these Indus travelers, traders, they must have been in contact with these persons, and then there could have been an exchange of education or something. Then the scribes of Indus Valley developed their own indigenous script, but it was inspired from there. So this is a theory of Escoparpola. Of course, we don't have proof for this, but he thinks that we have to look into these things. Script-wise, that thing is still undiscovered, which form of Elamite script was the inspiration of the Indus script. But hopefully in the future there will be explorations, and we might find something like that from the realm of the archaeologists who might discover something like that in the future. And then what we have from the two unknowns, the script is unknown and the language is unknown, we can at least try to decipher Indus script from language families, and those language families, Escoparpola thinks that Dravidian is the candidate, because before North India in the ancient time, and then there appears to be a gradual declination of these Dravidian languages from North India, which eventually go into the South India, and only part of Dravidian language that is left is Brahvi language, which is in parts of Sindh and Balochistan. So this is something that we can explore. And of course, the discovery of bilinguals might solve all our problems. And other scholars say that the possibility of discovering that bilingual would be somewhere around the borders of Pakistan, modern day Pakistan and Iran. There are ancient Indus sites right there in the border, Satka, Jandor, and these types of borders. So scholars say that there might be a future discovery of a bilingual text around the borders of modern day Iran and Pakistan because of the cultural context between these two regions, and then there will be an instant decipherment of the Indus script with the discovery of the bilinguals. But when it is not available, Escoparpola suggests that there might be a discovery of some ancient form of Elamite script which is not known right now, and then we might have a clue with bilinguals, we might get lucky. But if all these things are not available, then we have to focus on what language family we choose for the decipherment of the Indus script. In this case, in Escoparpola's work, it is Dravidian language. So that's it for today. The Indus script still whispers across millennia, etched on ancient seals from Harappa and Mohenjo-daro. It waits patiently for the modern world to listen. Maybe the next discovery will be made here in Sindh, or maybe in Punjab, or maybe in Balochistan. Maybe it will come from Pakistani or Indian archaeologists, or from a young researcher inspired by videos like this. So thank you for joining me on this journey through the ancient world's lost languages. If you enjoy this episode, please like, subscribe and share, where we will explore the leading theories and symbol patterns in the Indus script itself. So until next time, this is Faizan Muhammad signing off from the land of the Indus River. Thank you.